Hello students, welcome to the video solutions of ANTS FT5. Here we will be discussing the botany section. So starting with the very first question. Question number 91. The most abundant prokaryotes helpful to humans in making curd from milk and in production of antibiotics are the one categorized as. So curd production from milk या फिर antibiotic production, इसमें जो भी bacterial groups involve हो रहे, they are collectively considered to be what? Heterotrophic bacteria. तो उसमें सैप्रोफाइटिक कंसिडरेशन भी हम लोग कर सकते हैं, बट ओवरऑल जनरल टर्म अगर हमने यूज़ किया तो हेट्रोट्रॉफिक बैक्टीरिया होना चाहिए. तो इसका मतलब क्वेश्चन नंबर 91, द करेक्ट आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन बी. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 92, nomenclature is governed by certain universal rules. Which one of the following is contrary to the rules of nomenclature? So basically the question is asking that which one of these rules are not mentioned or not included within the rules of binomial nomenclature. So the very first statement, biological names can be written in any language. This is a false statement because biological names, they have to be in Latin, or if we are picking it from some other language, they have to be Latinized. So it means that statement A is incorrect here. So question number 92, the correct answer is option A. Now question 93, you have been given some names here, Ustilago, Puccinia, Neurospora. So as I keep reading these names, we notice that these are examples of fungi. Now the question is, how many of these fungi are imperfect? So basically, they're asking about which one of them is a member of class Deuteromycetes. So if you look at all the names over here, Trichoderma, that is the only member over there from class Deuteromycetes. The rest of them, they belong to Ascomycetes, they belong to Basidiomycetes, the other classes. So it means question number 93, how many of them are imperfect? Just Trichoderma, so 1. So question number 93, the correct answer should be option C. Now question 94 is an assertion reason based question. इसमें जो assertion आ रहा है, fungi require some organism either dead or alive for their nutrition. The dead part, that is related to saprophytic fungi, the alive part, that is related to parasitic fungi. So it seems assertion as a statement, this is true. Now the statement for reason, fungi cannot produce their food from inorganic nutrients and sunlight. So fungi are heterotrophic. Inorganic nutrients या sunlight से अगर वो food produce कर पाता, then I would have called it to be autotrophic. But fungi doesn't have that property. So it seems reason वाला जो statement है वो भी correct है. Now, if you are asked why does a fungi need to utilize a living or a dead organism for its nutrition, it's because it is not an autotroph or it cannot prepare its own food. So it seems that reason, that particular statement, is explaining why fungi require some other organism for its nutrition. So it means reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. So question number 94, the correct answer should be option A. Now question number 95, how many organisms in the list given below are autotrophs? So pay attention, they're asking autotrophs. So it can be either photosynthetic or chemosynthetic. So Lactobacillus, that's an heterotrophic bacteria, so we'll not consider. Nostoc, that is going to be a photosynthetic bacteria, it's a cyanobacteria. So Nostoc, एक यहाँ पे आ गया. After that, Chara is an example of a green algae, so एक और यहाँ पे आ गया. Nitrosomonas, that is a chemosynthetic organism. So chemosynthetic अगर वो हो रहा है, तो इसका मतलब still it will be considered as an autotroph. So Nitrosomonas. Nitrobacter, same, chemosynthetic, so 4. Streptomyces, this is not an autotrophic organism. Saccharomyces, again not autotrophic. Trypanosoma, ये भी autotrophic नहीं है. Porphyra, that is red algae, so एक और आ गया यहाँ पे. And finally, Wolffia is an angiosperm. In fact, it is the smallest angiosperm that we have. So it seems Wolffia should also be included over there. So out of the members mentioned over there, 6 of them are autotrophs, either photosynthetic or chemosynthetic. So it means question number 95, the correct answer should be option B. Now 96, which one is wrongly matched? Gemma cups, they are asexual bud producing structures in Marchantia, correct. Biflagellate zoospores, we can see biflagellate zoospores in brown algae. Uniflagellate gametes in Polysiphonia. Now this particular matching is false. Why? Polysiphonia is a member of Rhodophyceae. Members of Rhodophyceae contain non-motile structure. When I'm saying uniflagellate gamete, it means at least a single flagella is present, which goes against the properties of red algae. So it means that C में जो matching है वो वहाँ पे incorrect है. So question number 96, the correct answer should be option C. Now 97, inflorescence is capitulum in members of family. So capitulum or head inflorescence, it's a very characteristic property of family Asteraceae. So the sunflower family, उसका unique inflorescence हो रहा है capitulum. So the correct answer should be option B, Asteraceae. Now question number 98, you have to look for an incorrect statement from the following given. Non-endospermic seeds are found in pea, bean and gram. This statement is true. Endospermic seeds are found in castor. True. Endospermic seeds are found in orchids. Now, this particular statement is false. Even though orchid is a monocot and generally monocots do contain endospermous seed, but orchid is an exceptional case. It's a monocot without an endosperm in its mature seed. इसका मतलब question number 98, the correct answer should be option C. Now question 99, a conjoint and open vascular bundle will be observed in the transverse section of. जैसे conjoint vascular bundle बोल रहे हैं, it means it should be a type of stem because conjoint vascular bundles, they are a property of stem. तो इसका मतलब option A and C जिसमें root mentioned है वो automatically eliminate हो रहा है. बचा हमारे पास option rice and mango. Now when we say open vascular bundle, we mean a dicot plant over here. So इसका मतलब correct matching क्या होना चाहिए? It should be a dicot stem. So among rice and mango, mango is the dicot. So question number 99, the correct answer should be option D. Now question number 100, you have been given a list of plants and you need to find out that how many plants in the list given below have undifferentiated leaf mesophyll and closed vascular bundles. So when I say undifferentiated leaf mesophyll and a closed vascular bundle, it means what we are talking about here is a monocot. So basically in this list, you only need to pick up the monocot plants over there. So sunflower, that is a dicot, gram, dicot. Maize, that is a monocot. Maize ke baad, rice is also a monocot. Cucurbits, they are Cucurbita as a genus, dicot. Pea is a dicot. Sugarcane, grass family, that is a monocot. Grass as it is going to be a monocot. Mango and banyan, both of them are dicots. So it seems there are 4 plants over there which are monocots. So question number 100, the correct answer should be option C. Now 101 is an assertion reason based question. Assertion, permanent tissue is composed of mature cells. This statement is true. Reason, meristematic tissue is a group of actively dividing cells. True. Reason is not the correct explanation of the assertion over here. So question number 101, the correct answer should be option B. Now question number 102, select the correct statement from the following regarding cell membrane. Lipids are arranged in bilayer with polar heads towards the inner part. Polar heads are not towards the inner part, they are present towards the outer part. So this statement गलत है. Fluid mosaic model of cell membrane was proposed by Singer and Nicholson. Singer and Nicholson ने provide किया था fluid mosaic model. ये statement सही हो रहा है. So question number 102, the correct answer should be option B. Now 103, which one of the following is not an inclusion body found in prokaryotes? Now ये जो तीनों यहाँ पे options आ रहे हैं granule वाले, phosphate granules, synophysian granules and glycogen granules. All 3 of them can be considered as inclusion bodies. They are non-membrane bound structures involved in storage. But polysome are also known as polyribosome. So what is this condition? जब एक single mRNA में multiple ribosomes attach होते हैं, that we call to be a polyribosome or a polysome. So nothing to do with an inclusion body, that is just an arrangement of ribosomes. So उसमें कौन सा inclusion body नहीं है पूछा है? Question 103, the correct answer should be option A. Now question number 104, some statements are given here. Statement A, unicellular organisms are capable of independent existence. The statement is correct. Statement B, cell is the fundamental structural and functional unit of all unicellular organisms. Now in this particular statement, वहाँ पे all unicellular organisms बोले तब भी correct है. अगर all multicellular organisms बोले then also it is technically correct. अगर बोल दिया है all living organisms then also it is correct. So either ways I mention it, हर तरफ से वो correct ही माना जाएगा. तो statement B भी यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? Correct हो रहा है. Now statement C, all cells arise from pre-existing cells. ये वाला जो statement हो रहा है, this was proposed by Virchow as a part of the cell theory. So this statement is also correct. Statement D, the cytoplasm is the main arena of cellular activities in only plant cells. If वहाँ पे वो only वाला word नहीं होता, अगर सिर्फ ऐसा भी बोला जाता, cytoplasm is the main arena of cellular activities in plant cells, तो correct माना जाता. वहाँ पे अगेन प्लांट सेल बोले, एनिमल सेल बोले, कोई भी सेल बोले करेक्ट होता, बट द मोमेंट आई राइट ओनली प्लांट सेल, दिस इज गिविंग एज एन आइडिया दैट साइटोप्लाज्म का जो प्रॉपर्टी हो रहा है वो सिर्फ प्लांट सेल के लिए यूनिक हो रहा है, एनिमल्स में मे बी ये प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है या फिर कुछ और पॉइंट आ जाएगा, तो तब ओनली वर्ड बोल देने की वजह से वो गलत हो जाता है. तो इट सीम्स दैट स्टेटमेंट डी ओवर देयर इज रॉन्ग. सो स्टेटमेंट्स ए, बी एंड सी आर करेक्ट एंड स्टेटमेंट डी यहाँ पे रॉन्ग हो रहा है. तो अभी अगर हम लोग ऑप्शन सी देखें, which is mentioning that statements A, B and C are not wrong, तो ये वाला पॉइंट करेक्ट हो रहा है. So question number 104, the correct answer should be option C. Now question number 105 में कुछ functions mentioned है. And the question is how many functions from above are performed by the cytoskeleton. So cytoskeleton का first function हो रहा है mechanical support. It can also help in motility and it helps in maintenance of shape of the cell. But food synthesis या energy production में उसका कुछ काम नहीं हो रहा है. So out of the 5, it seems 3 of those points are related to the function of cytoskeleton. So correct answer should be option B. 105, the answer is option B. Now 106, which of the following arrangements of microtubule is correct for flagellum? So we are talking about the axoneme of a flagella. So in the axoneme of the flagella, what we notice is the arrangement is 9 plus 2. Now this 9 plus 2 arrangement, जो 9 peripheral है, they tend to be present as doublets. A and B दो fibers उसमें हो रहे हैं. So 9 peripheral doublets, option C and D. Then center में जो दो present है, both of them they are present as singlet fibers. तो इसका मतलब 9 peripheral doublets and 2 central singlets are going to be present over there. So question 106, the correct answer should be option C. Now 107, assertion interphase is resting stage. तो interphase वाले stage को हम लोग metabolic activity के point of view से जो भी उसका activity वगैरह हो रहा है, that is happening. But with respect to cell division, cytokinesis, karyokinesis, इन सब के point of view से वहाँ पे कुछ activity नहीं हो रहा है. तो because cell division related उसमें cytokinesis का कोई काम नहीं हो रहा है, इस वजह से हम लोग उसको एक resting phase मान सकते हैं. So interphase, is it a resting stage? Yes. लेकिन अगर रीजन में ये बोल दिया गया the interphase stage or interphase cell is metabolically inactive, now the statement becomes false because metabolism उसमें continuously चल रहा है, मेटाबॉलिज्म नहीं हो रहा है इसलिए हम उसको रेस्टिंग नहीं बोल रहे. तो इट सीम्स रीजन वाला जो स्टेटमेंट है दैट इज फॉल्स. सो असर्शन इज ट्रू बट रीजन इज फॉल्स. हेंस क्वेश्चन नंबर 107, द करेक्ट आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन सी. Now question 108, which phase of Calvin cycle does not or do not use any energy rich molecule? Now Calvin cycle हम 3 पार्ट में पढ़ रहे हैं, carboxylation, reduction and regeneration. In the carboxylation step, we do not have the involvement of any ATP or NADPH. Reduction वाले step में दोनों का use हो रहा है, regeneration वाले step में सिर्फ ATP use हो रहा है. तो इसका मतलब कुछ भी use नहीं होने वाला step क्या हो रहा है? Carboxylation. Therefore, carboxylation only वाला हमारा आंसर होना चाहिए 108. The correct answer should be option A. Now 109, you have to match the columns here. Carboxylation as a process is going to utilize Rubisco. So A3. Phosphorylation as a process is the formation of ATP. So B5. Photolysis of water eventually results in oxygen evolution. So C1. Phosphoglycolate is a product which is formed during photorespiration. So D2. And nitrosomonas, that is an example of a chemosynthetic bacteria. So E4. तो यहाँ पे अभी हम लोग मैच करें A3, B5, C1, D2, E4. The correct answer tends to be option B. So 109, the correct answer is option B. Question 110, again an assertion reason based question. The assertion, each molecule of ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate fixes one molecule of carbon dioxide. तो ये वाला statement यहाँ पे correct हो रहा है. Reason यहाँ पे बोल रहे हैं that 3 molecules of NADPH and 2 ATP are required for fixation of 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. First of all, the acceptance of 1 carbon dioxide by ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate, I will not be able to explain it using the ATP and NADPH requirement. On top of that, जो reason वाला statement हो रहा है, outright वो गलत क्यों दिख रहा है हमें यहाँ पे? Total 3 molecules of NADPH नहीं use हो रहा है. Per CO2 के लिए we are using 2 molecules of NADPH during the process of reduction, 3 molecules of ATP, 2 during reduction and 1 during regeneration. तो वहाँ पे उल्टा लिखा गया है, तो मतलब रीजन वाला पूरा स्टेटमेंट ही यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? फॉल्स हो रहा है. Hence, assertion is true, but reason is false. Question number 110, the correct answer is option C. Now, question 111, which statement is wrong for Krebs cycle? Option 1, there is one point in the cycle where FAD is reduced to FADH2. So, this particular statement is true. During conversion of succinyl coenzyme A to succinic acid, a molecule of GTP is synthesized. The statement is true. The cycle starts with condensation of acetyl group, acetyl coenzyme A, with pyruvic acid to eel citric acid. ये statement false हो रहा है because acetyl coenzyme A का जो acceptor है, that's not pyruvic acid, that is oxaloacetic acid. तो statement C यहाँ पे false है, हमसे incorrect statement पूछा गया है. So 111, the correct answer should be option C. Now next question 112. यहाँ पे एक स्कीम दिया गया है एज ए होल ग्लूकोज का जो टोटल एरोबिक एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन हो रहा है उसका ओवरऑल एक स्कीम आ रहा है. सो यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई ए बी सी डी ओवर हियर. नाउ जो यहाँ पे ए आ रहा है, सो ग्लूकोज ग्लाइकोलाइसिस के बाद जो उसका प्रोडक्ट बनेगा वो क्या बनेगा? पायरुविक एसिड. सो इसका मतलब यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग ऑप्शंस देखें बी सी एंड डी, तीनों में ए इज पायरुविक एसिड. बी जो हो रहा है मतलब ये एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन हुआ, क्रेब्स साइकिल खत्म हुआ, तो क्रेब्स साइकिल खत्म होने के बाद या एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन खत्म होने के बाद प्रोडक्ट क्या बनेगा? इट शुड बी कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वाटर. सो इसका मतलब बी कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड वाटर, ऑप्शन बी भी हो सकता है, सी भी हो सकता है. बैक्टीरिया में जब फर्मेंटेशन होगा तो उसका प्रोडक्ट क्या होगा? लैक्टिक एसिड. So C should have been what? Lactic acid. And yeast में fermentation के बाद product बनेगा ethanol या ethyl alcohol along with carbon dioxide. So D should be ethanol and carbon dioxide. तो इसका मतलब सारा किस में मैच हो रहा है? ऑप्शन B में मैच हो रहा है. So going by that, question number 112 में जो आंसर होना चाहिए that should be option B. Now question number 113. Fruit and leaf drop at early stages can be prevented by the application of. So the abscission of leaves and fruits, उसमें एक inhibitory effect कौन कर रहा है? It is auxin. So it seems early stages में leaf and fruit drop अगर हमें रोकना है, so the hormone that can be utilized is auxin. So 113, the correct answer should be option B. 114, इसमें जो डायग्राम आ रहा है, what am I noticing is leaf A 5 centimeter square, over unit time period it increased to 10 centimeter square. Leaf B initially 50 centimeter square, over unit time period increased to 55 centimeter square. So now if I calculate the absolute growth rate, दोनों के केस में जो absolute growth rate हो रहा है, that is going to be just an increase of 5 centimeter square over that unit time period. तो इनका जो absolute growth rate होगा वो same होगा, but बिकॉज इनका इनिशियल अमाउंट ऑफ ग्रोथ जो प्रेजेंट था वो डिफरेंट है, तो उसके बेसिस पे रिलेटिव ग्रोथ रेट डेफिनेटली क्या होगा? डिफरेंट होगा. तो रिलेटिव ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ ए एंड बी इज सेम, ऐसा हो नहीं सकता है. एब्सोल्यूट ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ ए एंड बी इज डिफरेंट, ये भी नहीं हो रहा है. एब्सोल्यूट एंड रिलेटिव ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ ए एंड बी आर सेम, ऐसा भी नहीं हो रहा है. तो इसका मतलब करेक्ट आंसर मेरा यहाँ पे क्या होना चाहिए? दोनों का 5 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर का AGR हो रहा है. सो एब्सोल्यूट ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ ए एंड बी आर सेम. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 114, द करेक्ट आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन डी. नाउ 115 में एक ग्राफ गिवन है असर्शन रीजन क्वेश्चन में. तो असर्शन इसमें बोल रहा है द ग्राफ शोज द ज्योमेट्रिकल ग्रोथ. तो ये ज्योमेट्रिकल ग्रोथ का ग्राफ हो रहा है कि लैग फेज, देन यू हैव द लॉग और एक्सपोनेंशियल फेज एंड देन यू हैव अ स्टेशनरी फेज. सो असर्शन वाला स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है. रीजन यहाँ पे बोल रहा है व्हेन जाइगोट डिवाइडेड इट आल्सो रिप्रेजेंट्स ज्योमेट्रिकल ग्रोथ. सो इनिशियली जाइगोट जब डिवाइड कर रहा है, एम्ब्रायो फॉर्मेशन की तरफ जा रहा है, तो इनिशियल अमाउंट ऑफ ग्रोथ ज्योमेट्रिकल ही हो रहा है, दैट इज ऑल्सो ट्रू. बट ग्राफ का जो एक्सप्लेनेशन हो रहा है वो जाइगोट के एग्जाम्पल से तो यहाँ पे नहीं समझाया जा सकता है. येस, यू कैन यूज दैट एग्जाम्पल टू अंडरस्टैंड ज्योमेट्रिकल ग्रोथ, बट द ग्राफ विल नॉट बी एक्सप्लेन बिकॉज ऑफ दैट. सो इट सीम्स दैट रीजन इज नॉट द करेक्ट एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ द assertion. So question 115, the correct answer should be option B. Now 116, a particular species of plant produces light non-sticky pollen in large numbers and its stigmas are long and feathery. So the moment we read these modifications, what it seems is that the flowers are adapted for what? Wind pollination. तो इसका मतलब जो question है, these modifications facilitate pollination by wind. So 116, the correct answer should be option C. Now 117, while planning for an artificial hybridization program involving dioecious plants, the moment I mention dioecious plant, it means what is happening, एक plant में I'm going to see the male flowers. On the other hand, जो female flowers होंगे वो completely different plant body में होंगे. तो ये establish हो चुका है. Which of the following steps would not be relevant? In order to answer this, what you need to remember is this, that exactly why bagging and emasculation, these steps are performed. So what you have to keep in mind is कि emasculation का जो step हो रहा है, that is to ensure that autogamy that is prevented. On the other hand, bagging is performed to make sure that any kind of pollen contamination is not happening. Let it be a pollen from the same flower or different flower, that does not matter. You just have to make sure that the stigma is covered so that when you expose the stigma, you can bring in pollen grains of your choice. So you have to make sure that the pollen contamination part is not happening. That's the function behind those two steps that we have. Now, in a plant which is already dioecious, if I perform emasculation in this flower, it is not serving any purpose. इस female flower का अगर bagging करवाया जा रहा है, that still makes sense because I don't want any unwanted pollen to reach here. Dusting of pollen on stigma. If I'm performing plant breeding, definitely I'll collect pollen grains and bring it upon the stigma. Collection of pollen. Again, for plant breeding, I need to collect pollen grains. But अगर male and female flowers completely separate plant body में ही हो रहा है, तो इस flower का emasculation करके यहाँ पे कोई फायदा भी नहीं हो रहा है. It's not required. So which step will not be relevant? It's the step of emasculation. So 117, the correct answer should be option C. Now 118, the hilum is a scar on the. So the hilum is considered to be a scar which is present on the seed or the seed coat. And exactly what does the hilum represent? It represents the exact point where initially the funicle was attached to the ovule. So when the funicle is detached, उस point से जब उसका detachment होगा ovule का या seed का at this point, वहाँ पे tissue damage होगा, injury होगा, the mark that is left behind, that is the hilum mark. So hilum is a point of attachment between funicle and the ovule. Later, it appears to be a scar tissue on the seed coat. So the correct answer here should be option B. Now 119, blood group of both husband and wife is AB. What is the probability of their first child having blood group AB? So if father has blood group of AB, so it means this is the genotype and these are the possible gametes. Similarly, if the mother is also blood group AB, same genotype and therefore same types of gametes. Now, if we look at the combination over here, one possible combination that we can get is A blood group. The second possible combination is going to be AB. Again, this combination is also going to be AB and the final one is going to be B. So, the probability of having a child with AB blood group, ये probability कितना हो रहा है? This probability comes up to be 50%. So, इसका मतलब the child of having blood group AB, that probability comes up to be 50%. So, question 119, the correct answer should be option A. Now question 120 पे numerical हो रहा है. Heterozygous tall plants of garden P were self-crossed. The moment you do this particular crossing, so what we know over here is कि जो ratio आने वाला है, that ratio is going to be 1:2:1. तो ये हो जाएगा homozygous dominant, ये दोनों हो जाएंगे heterozygous, ये वाला हो जाएगा homozygous recessive. Now, in this particular cross, what we notice is total 520 plants were produced and you need to find out of 520 how many of these plants were homozygous. तो यहाँ देखने में क्या लग रहा है कि 4 में से 2 प्लांट्स क्या हो रहे हैं होमोजाइगस है. इसमें ये मेंशन नहीं है क्या है कि होमोजाइगस डोमिनेंट है या रिसेसिव है. सो इट कुड बी कैपिटल टी, इट कुड बी स्मॉल टी ऑल्सो. सो इट सीम्स दैट आउट ऑफ 4, 2 आर प्रोड्यूसिंग होमोजाइगस कंडीशन, मतलब exactly half यहाँ पे हो रहा है. So 50% probability है to get homozygous individuals. So if I use that logic here, so 520 में भी क्या होगा? Same logic होगा. उसमें भी आधे plants they are going to be homozygous. Could be dominant, could be recessive, but homozygous. तो 520 का आधा अगर मैंने यहाँ पे किया, मेरा आंसर क्या आएगा? 260. So question number 120, the correct answer should be option B, 260. Now 121, in Drosophila, the yellow body color gene and white eye gene showed 1.3% recombination. So Y and W के बीच में जो recombination frequency आया है, that is 1.3%. Whereas miniature wing gene and जो white eye gene हो रहा है, तो white eye gene and miniature wing gene इसके बीच में जो percentage आ रहा है, that is 37.2%. Now what will we see over here is अगर दो जीन्स के बीच में रिकॉम्बिनेशन फ्रीक्वेंसी लेस है तो इसका मतलब इनके बीच में डिस्टेंस भी क्या हो रहा है, कम होगा. बट W एंड M इनके बीच में रिकॉम्बिनेशन फ्रीक्वेंसी ज़्यादा है, मतलब डिस्टेंस भी ज़्यादा हो रहा है. सो व्हाट आई हैव टू कीप इन माइंड हियर इज W and M are on different chromosomes. This is false. Morgan के एक्सपेरिमेंट में जो तीनों कैरेक्टर्स यूज हुए थे, तीनों के जो जीन्स है they were present on the same chromosome, that is X chromosome. W and M are closer than W and Y. W and M ज़्यादा क्लोज नहीं हो सकते, उनके बीच में जो वैल्यू है that is their distance, which is definitely more than Y and W. तो इसका मतलब ऑप्शन बी भी इनकरेक्ट हो रहा है. W and Y are on the same chromosome when M is on a different chromosome. Again, this is a false statement. W and Y are closer than W and M. ये हमारा पॉइंट आपने तब से अभी देखा है, तो ये वाला पॉइंट करेक्ट हो रहा है. सो क्वेश्चन 121, द करेक्ट आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन डी. Now question number 122, the human chromosome with the highest and least number of genes in them are respectively. So 2968 genes, that's the maximum number of genes which is present on chromosome 1. Whereas 231, that is the minimum number of genes which is present on chromosome Y. So question number 122, the correct answer should be option C. Now 123, which of the following are the functions of RNA? It is a carrier of genetic information from DNA to ribosomes synthesizing polypeptides. True. They are talking about mRNA here. It carries amino acids to ribosomes. True. They are talking about tRNA. It is a constituent component of ribosomes. Again, true. They are talking about rRNA. So it seems all of these statements are correct for RNA. So question number 123, the correct answer should be option D. Now question 124, इसमें कुछ statements आ रहे हैं. जो पहला statement हो रहा है, that is transforming principle explained by Griffith was later identified as DNA. So it's a part from NCERT which is saying that कि जो transforming principle Griffith ने समझाया, at the end of the day that molecule was discovered to be DNA. So the statement is correct. Histones are rich in acidic amino acids lysine and arginine. Histone is rich in lysine and arginine, but lysine and arginine are not acidic amino acids, they are basic amino acids. So statement 2 यहाँ पे false हो गया. In RNA, every nucleotide has a 2' position of ribose OH group present. So yes, ribose sugar का जो 2' position हो रहा है, उसमें OH group present है. So this particular statement is correct. In a dsDNA, the two chains have anti-parallel polarity. This particular statement is also correct. So statements 1, 3 and 4 are correct. So इसका मतलब question number 124, the correct answer should be option D. Now question number 125, it's an abbreviation coming from Human Genome Project. So Human Genome Project का एक goal ये था that any kind of ethical, legal and social issues that can come up because of all the data related to human genome that is generated, there should be proper committees and institutions to handle any of those issues. So what was the term used? Ethical, legal and social issues. So abbreviate करके वो क्या बन जाता है? LC. So the correct answer for 125 should be option A. Now question 126, these are the graphs for the different types of population growth. इसमें जो graph A हो रहा है, that is showing the exponential growth. तो exponential growth का एक particular formula क्या हो रहा है? That's dN by dt is equal to Rn. तो ये वाला जो options B and C है, दोनों अभी के लिए correct लग रहा है. Now जो graph B हो रहा है, that is for the logistic type of growth, the Verhulst-Pearl growth. तो इस particular growth में हम लोग क्या लिख रहे हैं? It is dN by dt equal to Rn, K minus N by K. Okay? तो इसका मतलब again both B and C यहाँ पे correct लग रहा है. Now A is exponential curve, but उसको हम लोग S shape नहीं बोलते, उसको हम लोग J shape बोलते हैं. On the other hand, logistic, B is logistic curve, but उसको J shape नहीं, उसको S shape बोल रहे थे. ये वाला मैच नहीं हो रहा है, तो इसका मतलब एक ही ऑप्शन उसमें मैच हो रहा है, that is option B. So question number 126, the correct answer should be option B. Now question number 127, choose the wrong statement. Natality and immigration increases population density. True. Mortality and emigration decreases population density. Again true. Adverse condition does not affect population density. This is a false statement. Adverse conditions will bring down the population in a particular area. So it seems 127, the answer should be option C. Now question number 128, the prickly pear cactus introduced into Australia in the early 1920s caused havoc by spreading rapidly into millions of hectares of rangeland. Because so the prickly pear cactus, it was an alien species. Why was it able to spread throughout Australia without any check? So it was able to do that spreading because उस particular cactus का वहाँ पे कोई natural predator observe नहीं हो रहा था. So question number 128, it's the absence of a natural predator. So the correct answer should be option C. Now question number 129, productivity is the rate of production of biomass expressed in terms of. So productivity can be expressed in the terms of the gram and can also be expressed in terms of kilocalories. So gram per meter square per year, kilocalories per meter square per year, ये दोनों correct हो रहा है, 3 and 4 both are correct. So 129, the correct answer should be option C. Now question 130, which one of the following statements for the pyramid of energy is incorrect whereas the remaining 3 are correct? So pyramid of energy is upright in shape. Upright अगर shape हो रहा है तो इसका मतलब जो उसका base होगा वो broad होना चाहिए, so it is base is broad. It shows energy content of different trophic level organisms, yes. Energy pyramid is never inverted in shape. So question number 130, the correct answer should be option D. Now question number 131, assertion reason based question. Assertion, agriculture and aquaculture are man-made ecosystems. So this is a correct statement. These are artificial ecosystems. Reason, most biotic and abiotic factors are managed by humans in these ecosystems. In an agricultural land or in an aquaculture water body, what kind of biotic and abiotic factors are there? It means in a farmland, let's take the example, what type of plants will be growing there? कौन सा प्लांट ऐड होगा, कौन सा रिमूव होगा. अब एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स में वाटर का कंटेंट, नेचुरल रेनफॉल के अलावा इरिगेशन के थ्रू उसमें कितना वाटर अवेलेबल करवाया जाएगा, नहीं करवाया जाएगा, ये सारी चीज़ें भी मेंटेन हो रही है. इफ़ वी रिक्वायर एनी एक्स्ट्रा न्यूट्रिएंट देयर, वो फर्टिलाइजर्स के फॉर्म में ऐड किया जाएगा. सो व्हाट वी कैन से इज दैट नॉट ऑल बायोटिक एंड एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स आर कंट्रोल्ड, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द बायोटिक एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स ऑफ एन आर्टिफिशियल इकोसिस्टम दे आर कंट्रोल्ड बाय ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज. सो रीजन वाला स्टेटमेंट भी करेक्ट है. अब क्वेश्चन ये हो रहा है कि एग्रीकल्चर को हम लोग मैन मेड या आर्टिफिशियल इकोसिस्टम क्यों बोल रहे हैं? इट्स बिकॉज इन दोज एरियाज द मेजर बायोटिक एंड एबायोटिक फैक्टर्स दे आर कंट्रोल्ड बाय ह्यूमन एक्टिविटीज. वो नेचुरली वहाँ पे मोस्टली नहीं हो रहा है, हम उसको कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं. सो इट्स बेसिकली वी आर क्रिएटिंग इट आर्टिफिशियली. So it means reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. So question number 131, the correct answer should be option A. Now question number 132. Which of the following countries has the highest biodiversity? So the most biodiverse area in the world, that is the Amazon rainforest. Now the Amazon rainforest, which is present in South America, it's a large area, it's spread across multiple countries. But Amazon rainforest का जो maximum region है, that is included under the country of Brazil. So इसका मतलब यहाँ पे जब पूछा जा रहा है कि टेक्निकली कौन से कंट्री में हाईएस्ट बायोडाइवर्सिटी होगा, so उस हिसाब से हमारा आंसर क्या होना चाहिए? ब्राज़ील होना चाहिए. So 132, the correct answer should be option A. Question number 133, what is common to lantana, ecornia and African catfish? Now lantana and ecornia, these are plants which have been brought as invasive species. So वो भी plant invasive species हो गया. The African catfish, again that is also an alien species, which is an animal alien species. तो plant हो या animal हो, तीनों के तीनों क्या हो रहा है? These are considered to be alien species. Now these alien species, they are so widespread, so they are definitely not endangered. They are not keystone species. And all of them are not mammals. None of them are mammals basically. But these species, these are neither threatened nor indigenous species of India. ये इतने amount में present है कि वो threatened नहीं है. Plus these are alien species, मतलब ये indigenous भी नहीं है. So question number 133, the correct answer should be option D. Now question 134, which one of the following is an example of ex situ conservation? What we will notice is a wildlife sanctuary, a national park and sacred groves. All three of them perform conservation on site. All three of them are in situ means of conservation. तो इसमें एक भी ex situ means of conservation नहीं हो रहा है. So इसका मतलब 134, the correct answer is none of these. Now the last question. The organization which has published the Red Data Book. तो Red Data Book या जो Red List हो रहा है, that is published by IUCN, which is the International Union of Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. So 135, the correct answer should be option B. So I hope all your doubts have been cleared. Good luck for your future exams. Thank you.